Welcome to this edition of Zips Weekly. I'm your host, David Stuntup. We'll take a look back at the past week in Zips athletics. The women's soccer team was back home for a match against St. Bonaventure. Women's volleyball was home for the first time this season for the Akron Invitational. Cross country had its lone home meet at Firestone Metro Park in the Tommy Evans Invitational. And the football team traveled to Penn State for its first road game of the 2014 season. Both of our women's sports were up north at Cleveland State on Tuesday, and we start off with Akron women's soccer. The Zips fell at Cleveland State 3-1. Sophomore Sarah Civic notched her first goal of the year in the first half, but Akron gave up two second-half goals, including one to Sarah's older sister, Amanda. Alex Luvano Hardin made her first start of the year and made 6 saves. The Zips were outshot 15-6 in the loss. Akron women's volleyball was also at Cleveland State last Tuesday, and they fell to the Vikings in 3 sets. Freshman Anna Wenger led the Zips with 11 kills, while libero Callie Mack had 20 digs. Most fall sports started their seasons in August, but the men's and women's cross-country teams had their first meet last Thursday. The Tommy Evans Invitational at Firestone Metro Park, the lone home meet of the season. The men's cross-country team entered the year fresh off one of its best seasons ever after finishing 9th at the NCAA Great Lakes Regional Championship and coming in 2nd place in the MAC. The Zips took home 2nd place in the Tommy Evans Invitational after finishing behind Malone. Kyle Cochran won the race by 12 seconds. 2 other men's cross-country runners placed in the top 10. Dan Zupan came in 3rd, while Garrett Tritchlow was 10th.
Our goal this year is to win the MAC cross country, and to do that, we need to have 5 guys all real close to one another. And if you look at our top 4 today, we were really close to one another. 5th was not too far behind. So that's a real good start to get things off in order to have that team unity.
Switching to the women's cross-country squad, Akron came in 3rd place out of 5 teams after finishing ahead of Marshall and Youngstown State. Natalie Zid led the Zips with a 15th place finish, while sophomore Marissa Papp was 1 spot behind in 16th. Here's what cross-country coach Leela Beatty said about what he wants his men's squad to accomplish this year. Akron women's soccer was back at FirstEnergy Stadium Cub Cadet Field for a date with St. Bonaventure last Friday, while Akron women's volleyball took the court behind me at James A. Rhodes Arena for the first time in 2014 as part of the Akron Invitational, with 2 matches this past Friday and 2 more the next day on Saturday. We pick it up in the 64th minute. Hannah Worth off the free kick ties the game at 1. First goal of the year for the junior midfielder. Later on in the second half, a one-timer, La Negro, Amy Dean rockets one into the back of the net. First career goal for the freshman, and Akron takes a 2-1 lead in the 72nd minute. Lonnie Smith with the Zips looking to extend the lead to 3-1. A great chance inside the box, but the shot blocked away. Chance for Sarah Civic, but she fires that one high. But Civic would capitalize right here. Heads it home for the goal. Akron in the 85th minute. Akron happy, 3 goals in the second half, and the Zips take this one 3-1 over St. Bonaventure. Sarah Civic scores her 2nd goal of the year.
Our kids have a great mentality right now, and there's a massive difference between tonight and Tuesday night. When we gave up the goal to Cleveland State, we kind of quit. Tonight, we just kind of kept after it. And, you know, to score 3 goals in a game is fabulous for our kids, and we've stressed the importance of set pieces, and you can see that we got 2 of our 3 goals on set pieces. So essentially, we won the game on a set piece. So.
The Zips wrapped up the tournament going 3-1 with wins over Bryant and Binghamton last Friday, but started Saturday with a loss to Drake in 4 sets before bouncing back to top Austin Peay in 3 sets. Sophomore outside hitter Amanda Bedell and junior setter Ashley Holder were named to the all-tournament team for their performances. Bedell had 49 kills over 4 matches, including a season-high 16 kills in the win over Binghamton. Holder added 144 assists, including 40 assists in back-to-back matches against Binghamton and Drake. Libero Callie Mack chipped in a career-high 23 digs in the victory over Austin Peay. Your team took 3 out of 4 in the Akron Invitational. How much do you think that could help your squad going forward, especially with a young team?
Well, of course, we wanted to win 4 out of 4 at our own tournament. However, Drake team was very, very good. They played solid. We were very, very competitive with them, and it's one of those ones. Any given day, anybody could have won that match, but winning 3 out of 4 against some really quality teams really helps.
1 week after Akron football's dominating season-opening win over Howard right here at FirstEnergy Stadium, the Zips hit the road for the first time in 2014 to take on Penn State at Beaver Stadium. Kyle Pohl preparing to go up against Penn State sophomore Christian Hackenberg. Akron and Penn State. The Zips started off with the ball and the offense got moving early. Tyler Williams a 10-yard gain, and then Kyle Pohl at it again, this time finding Zach D'Orazio bouncing off the fenders and going all the way up to the 40-yard line. The Zips offense in business to start things off. Later on, LT Smith open on the right side, cuts it back to the right, and he's inside the red zone. Then the Zips take to the ground. Jawan Chisholm pounds his way inside the 10-yard line. Later on the first quarter, Christian Hackenberg finding Bill Belton wide open for a 22-yard touchdown. That put the Nittany Lions up 7-0 after 1 quarter. That's where the score stood. Penn State threatening in the second quarter. Hackenberg with plenty of time, but Martell Durant steps in front to pick off the pass for Akron. A huge pick for the Zips. Early in the second half, the Zips defense was at it again. Alfonso Horner with the fumble recovery, a miscommunication between Christian Hackenberg and his running back, and that gave the Zips good field position. That set up Robert Stein from 28 yards out, and the junior kicker connects to put the Zips on the scoreboard, but Akron still trailed 7-3 about 4 minutes into the third quarter. And then how about the defense? Once again, a huge sack by the Zips defensive line. 3rd and 25, and Penn State goes all the way to the Akron 41, a huge completion to Eugene Lewis. And then later on the drive, Penn State finds the end zone. Jesse James, a 13-yard catch, his first touchdown of the game. Hackenberg looking for another touchdown pass, throws into double coverage, and Bray Ford picks it off. He has room down the right sideline, scampering ahead. He's across midfield and into Penn State territory. Kyle Pohl trying to get something going for the offense. Short pass out on the right side, and Akron inside the Penn State 40, but the drive would stall right there. 2 plays later, Christian Hackenberg finds Jesse James wide open down the left sideline, and he scampers into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game. That put Penn State up 21-3, and Akron went on to lose this one by 18 points at Happy Valley. The Zips dropped to 1-1 after the loss. Kyle Pohl, 24 of 46 for 208 yards. Zach D'Orazio, the leading receiver, 5 catches for 61 yards. The Zips won the turnover battle 3-0, but just couldn't convert when they had chances in Penn State territory. Coach Bowden and the players were happy with the effort, but wish they came away with a different result.
Yeah, I'm disappointed for our players that we couldn't, make something happen at the end, get back in that game, have a chance to win it. We played hard. I told them, I said, you can't play any harder than we played. We created some turnovers. The defense kept us in the ball game. The offense moved the ball well, but we couldn't get big plays, and so we had to execute everything perfectly, and we couldn't quite do that as well as they could defend it. But I thought, to be so disappointed at Akron for not beating Penn State is a nice thought that our players are, but the fact is we played about as hard as we could play, and we won the turnover battle, and we just couldn't come in here and beat them. And they did a good job. Penn State they did a great job of doing what they had to do to win a football game. They didn't let us. We missed a field goal early, and then at the end, the thing that got we was split 7-3, and they hit a 3rd and 22, a 3rd and 8, and a 3rd and 6, and they put us up. Then got up 14-3, and now boy, in a game like that, that's a big margin. That's an 11-point margin. So, but we'll regroup, and I don't think we saw too many injuries out there that we saw people that could take it off, and so we've got a week off. We'll regroup and get ready for our next one.
Akron men's soccer wrapped up its 2-game Florida road trip with a 1-1 tie at Florida Gulf Coast. Sophomore Adam Najim scored his first goal of the year in the 26th minute off an assist from Saad Abdul Salam. Jake Fenlison allowed a goal in the 52nd minute and made 8 saves, including one in the final seconds to preserve a 1-1 tie. Akron earned its first point and finished its season-opening stretch of 3 straight road games 0-2-1. The Zips are back home for the Akron tournament this weekend with the home opener on Friday, September 12th against UCF and another match on Sunday, September 14th versus Hartford.
That wraps up this edition of Zips Weekly. In next week's show, we'll recap the men's soccer team's first home games of the season in the Akron tournament, the women's soccer team's trip to Boston University and Bryant, and women's volleyball's matches in Nebraska. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm David Suntup for GoZips.com.